Welcome back from your trip, from your travels.
Yes. Happy to be back finally.
I think traders are the only people that say, I'm so glad to be back from holiday.
Every day is a holiday for us in reality, but yeah, I'm happy to be home. It's nice. It's nice to not live out of a suitcase. That's the best part.
Fair point, fair point. Like when you have all your things organized at home, that does definitely make a difference.
Yeah,
Um,
sleeping in your own bed.
oh, your own bed. So do you like that feeling, like when you've gotten back from a trip and you walk home, you're like, my
Oh
space.
yes. Yes, just drop your luggage and just it's the best feeling ever.
What do you prefer more? The feeling of when you first walk into a hotel room, brand new hotel, or the feeling of when you first walk into your home after a vacation?
I think it's a tie. At first, yeah, that first day when you walk in, because that's usually the first day of your trip, so you're excited, right?
Yeah.
But once the trip is over, you're ready to go home, and you're like just happy to be home. So it's pretty much it's a tie.
I
Yeah.
hate the feeling of like how the hotel room feels when you're leaving it. It just feels like, oh, this isn't my space
Yes.
anymore.
Yeah.
So, when you were on your trip, you posted something that was really cool.
I did. Ah, my
Tell
biggest
me.
week. My biggest week. I had my biggest week. I maybe it had something to do with our session. I don't know.
Maybe,
I think you're my good luck charm.
maybe.
I don't know.
I told you,
Yeah,
this is what I do. This is what I do.
yeah. I had
Um,
I had 100K week. That's in I haven't had that in a long, long time. Yeah.
welcome.
Goals might have had a little something to do with that too.
It
This
does.
goal that we're
Yeah, yeah,
on.
yeah.
But yeah, it's been incredible. It's been incredible. Definitely. That was the icing on the cake for this trip for sure.
But it's so powerful, right? And it is no coincidence that after our first session that you had your biggest trading week. But it's not because of me. It's because when you step into this kind of work, you're aligning your nervous system, your focus, and your energy. So the market then begins to align to that frequency. It meets you at that frequency, essentially. It's not luck, it's resonance. So because we did our session energetically, even though this is the thing, the 3D can take some time to catch up, but something internally shifts and then the external world reflects it back to you, right? So,
Mhm.
again, because of that, for today's session, essentially, it's not actually going to be about fixing anything. It's actually about understanding what happened. And I want you to understand it from a scientific and energetic level so we can sustain that state. And I want to make that your new baseline. Like I want to hear every month I had my best trading week. I had my best trading week. So that's like where I want to get you to. But yeah, so let's start by actually anchoring that state. And let's think about the energy that you were trading from. So, were you trading while you were on vacation?
I was, yes.
Okay, nice. So we know that that was something that you did differently. Obviously, your environment was different, but was there
Mhm.
anything else that changed for you mentally, emotionally, energetically? Anything that may have supported that shift?
Well, for one, I wasn't technically on vacation. It was more of a business trip.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't do, my normal things that I normally do on vacation. I like to sightsee, hit the beach, jet ski, a lot of, tours and stuff like that. I didn't do much of that at all. It was more on the business side. So I was a lot more focused on what I went there to do in the first place. And my trading is always first and foremost whenever, because it's my main business. So I put that on the forefront. So no matter
Mm-hmm.
what else I have going on with other businesses that I got going on or any other obligations that I have, my business, my trading comes first. So my environment was very different. However, I think I just put more emphasis on just having a good week because
Mm.
I always start my trading day saying I'm going to win today. Today is going to be a winning day. This week is going to start off great. I always start out my trading day, my trading week, try to be in a positive mindset. And then once I actually get on the chart and I see, I start analyzing and I start doing my thing and I feel good about it because I start seeing like, okay, the markets look like they're moving. So opportunities are gonna show themselves. So I kind of already just put myself in that mental space where things are just gonna line up for me. And even when I lose, I'm still okay. I'm still happy in a sense because I have this skill that no one can take away from me. And I know that on average, I win more than I lose. So even if I lose, this just happens to be the day that the market wasn't on my side. But I know that that win is around the corner. So my mind space didn't really change too much,
Mm.
but I had to kind of take it with me because I was on this trip for a different reason and I had to, deal with the things I had to deal with on the trip. But I never lost focus of, hey, this is on the forefront. I need to take care of home first, and then I can focus on everything else. So I think the mental discipline to kind of keep myself focused on what I need to be focused on in that moment, definitely played a huge part.
Did
So
patience feel easier for you last week?
it did. It did because, first of all, the markets were moving so great that it wasn't hard waiting. It
Mm.
wasn't hard waiting because it's like you just know that the trade is going to come, the
Mm.
setup is going to play out. It wasn't hard. This time it just wasn't. I didn't have any issues waiting on my setup to give me what I needed to execute because I just had so much confidence that it was going to play out just because of what I was seeing, how the markets were moving, and the confidence that I had. And once I won those first few setups that I took, it was game over at that point. I was in, and then on top of that, I was already up in profit by from like the second day on the trip, I was up like 30, almost 30, 40 grand in profit already.
Nice.
And that was only like day two of the
You're like
week.
paid for
So
the trip already.
yeah, so it makes it easier to wait because now it's like you're kind of playing with house money. You're playing with your profits now. So it's like even if I was to lose, it'd be like, I still got some cushion. I still got wiggle room. But because I was doing so well already, I had already like hit my goal for the week. I was carefree at that
Mhm.
point. So when you're carefree, it's a little bit easier to wait for moves because you don't need the setup as much.
Mhm.
So if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Did you
Mhm.
have an itch to jump into any trades early, or did you just feel completely?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The urge is always there. The urge is always there for sure. But the urge is there, but the discipline has to be there also. And I think that when how do I say it? Like when the bad habits try to creep in, it's your discipline that has to put you back on track.
Yeah.
So my discipline was definitely was kicked into overdrive this week because the patience wasn't that much of an issue for me.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Absolutely amazing. I fucking love this shit, honestly.
Same here. Same
It's so fun for me to see this, like the progression and whatever
here.
it is that you want to achieve, we will get you there. Like it's just evidence, right? That like
Yeah.
even the smallest step can make a huge difference. So
Hmm.
we want to sustain this and then we want to elevate it. We don't want to go 0 to 100. Like your end goal for this might be 100,000 days, right? Like in 6 months, maybe 100,000 days
Yeah.
would be your new baseline. And let's work towards
Huh.
that. We can get you. No, don't do that because you're capable of it. That's doubt. That little giggle was a subconscious doubt of, nah, you
You know
are
what it
capable.
is? It's not so much the doubt too much. There is a little bit of doubt. I won't lie. There is a little bit of doubt. The only thing is that used to be my goal,
Hmm.
but for a long time, it's like not so much anymore because I've kind of found my happy medium, if you will, with my
Hmm.
trading. And I keep thinking like, man, I made 15 grand today. I made 20 grand today. I made 5 grand today. I keep thinking that's a lot of money. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I don't. Okay, so if this makes sense, when I win, when I make 20,000 in a trade, or I make 2,000 in a trade, I don't. It's no different to me.
Hmm.
I don't feel any more satisfied
Hmm.
with a 20, $30,000 day as I would with like a $2,000 day, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I've kind
perfect
of
sense.
reached, yeah, I've reached a point where, like I had that week, and I just, this is a new week. I got to do it all over again. I got to find a way to do it. Not that I'm not happy, excited, or satisfied, or grateful. I am all those things, but it's now become the norm to me. Just
Mm-hmm.
hitting those numbers, making good money every day. With a skill that took me forever to learn. It's the norm to me now. So I think if and when I ever hit 100K day, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. But I don't think that feeling is gonna like take me over the moon for very long.
Mm-mm. It
Because
won't.
first of all, I'm not expecting to hit that every day or
Mm-hmm.
every week. That's number one. And number two is I'm just as happy where I am here as I think I would be making even more, because it doesn't change my life in any kind of way. It doesn't make a significant like, and I hope I'm not sounding,
Genau.
ungrateful or like, oh, whatever. I know it's not that, but I don't know how else to put it. Like, it's
You're
just
describing what a
another day
trader
in the
should
market.
be. Yeah, no, but you are describing what a trader should be. It's not
Yeah.
that you're trying to chase this number. You're
Hmm.
focused on being the best trader that you can possibly be. Like,
Yeah.
you're focused on that as opposed to how can I make the most money, which is
Hmm.
exactly what I want. But because you are an ambitious person and because you are process driven, there is
Hmm.
no reason why we can't take the skills that you currently already have and use, like, I would not recommend this for every trader, by the way, because when you're looking at P&L and you make that your anchor, you can fall off very quickly. For someone
Yeah.
who has been in the game as long as you have and you are where you are, this is why I'm giving you this advice. So I'm just giving this mini disclaimer because people will be watching this and I want them to understand the advice that I give to you is not advice for them. So in your case, we can use P&L as an anchor for progress to measure progress, but
Hmm.
we're not using it as an anchor of are you a good trader or bad trader? We already know you're a good trader. We already know you've got your process down. But as an ambitious person, you have the ability to do more. You have the ability to push your boundaries and to better yourself. And if we push those boundaries even slightly, like say we just go for 50K days as like your baseline,
Hmm.
if we do that, it continues to develop your skill set. It continues to develop the way that your brain is thinking. And I just think like it gets to a point where people say like trading should be boring, but you want to do this for a long time, right? So that means it does have an element of excitement. So for example, if we were playing a game of chess and
Hmm.
we were playing a game of chess and each time the moves were different, that makes it exciting. That makes it fun to play. Win, lose or draw, right? You just enjoy being like the grandmaster essentially. But
Yeah.
if you knew every single move that was going to be coming at you, you'd get bored. And in boredom, mistakes can happen because your brain tries to look for dopamine in doing reckless things, and the reckless things can happen at random times. So you could
Hmm.
have built your account up, and because you've been doing that for so long, like sustaining that same level for so long, your brain kind of goes, let's make this exciting, and then next thing you know, like you've taken a really big loss. So we want to avoid that by giving your brain something else to look forward to, something else that is now going to become the form of excitement. And that, like, I'm giving you 100K because I'm someone who likes to push people, right? Like, I see potential in people. I mean, I would say an even higher number, but I'm like, I also have to be like on guard to not scare people. So
Yeah.
I'll give you an example with Q, right? So I can say this because we've already recorded his session, right? And I'll drop that soon. So I gave him a target in our first session. I said I want to get you to 1 million baseline, and he was like, "Oh God," kind of a thing. And I was like, "Don't, like, you can do it. Like, you can
Hmm.
do that." He's already there. It took him 4 weeks. He's there,
Incredible.
right?
Sometimes you need that one last little push, and
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But we're sustaining it. So you'll see it in the session. It wasn't just like that push. It was I'm excited for you to see it. Let's just say
I can't wait. I can't wait.
that.
I gotta see this.
It was good. It was
Okay.
good.
All
But
right.
like even I remember like I had a phone call with him and it was maybe like 4 or 5 months ago. And in this phone call, I said to him, like, what's your portfolio size? Where do you want to be? Da, da, da. And he was like, I'm happy where I am, to be honest. And I was like, I want to get you to 1 million. And he was like, to be honest, like when I go over 300K, I kind of get on tilt, da, da, da. And I was like, no, that doesn't have to be that way. But he was like on the fence. He was like, nah, nah, nah. Like, I think I'm good. Like, and I was like, okay, cool. Now, fast
Mm-hmm.
forward, because I feel like I'm talking to Q like 5 months ago, where he was like,
Yeah.
no, I'm good where I'm at. And then we've come back around and it's like, oh, look how quick you actually got there. Right. So I'm like saying this to you from the framework of this is how a trader's brain is, especially a successful trader, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's easy for us to fall into comfort. You have something in you right now, which is like a dopamine reward loop, right? It's an anticipatory reward. So that means your brain is the reason you're jumping into trades early is because your brain is anticipating a win. It's looking for that excitement, it's looking for that hit of dopamine before you've actually got the reward. So we want to
Mm-hmm.
stop that. We would rather take it away from that and plug it into something else to say, like, let's get your dopamine from somewhere else, because that means that you can just sustain this, like that feeling that you had where you took the win for the
Mm-hmm.
week and you felt fine. We can take that and we can just make that your normal, because now we're getting your essentially your dopamine from a different place, which is I'm just going to slowly increase my portfolio size. It doesn't have to be drastic, right? I
Mm-hmm.
love to see people reach their full potential, and with
Mm-hmm.
you I see so much of it. So if I push you, it's because I see it and I'm like I want to see it. Like it's a thrill for this is my thrill, right? Like you are my
Yeah.
green trade essentially.
I'm honored. I'm honored.
So I'm excited to keep pushing you. But the other thing is like while I'm pushing you, push back. So like tell me if I'm going too hard, because I need to know where your nervous system doesn't feel safe, right? Because it's where your nervous system doesn't feel safe is where I have to pay attention and where I have to build and like give you the frameworks and make sure that we're implementing things that can make sure that your nervous system feels safe so we can expand that number. But one thing I asked you to do when you went away was to have that pause and that awareness brought into when you need to be patient. So when that urge comes up that is saying, jump into the trade.
Okay.
So what thoughts were coming up? What emotions were actually sitting underneath that urge?
Um, just trusting the process because the need to want to jump into a trade prematurely probably comes from a lack of trust at times, or maybe overly trusting as well,
Mm,
because you think the market is going to go your way anyway. So you just jump in. It's like, oh, let me get in now. So truly and honestly, I disconnected. I
mm-hmm,
disconnected. I would, go look at some emails. I maybe walked away, went and walked out on the balcony, took in some sun, scrolling on Netflix to see what's on TV that could take my attention away for a minute. So I would disconnect from the chart
mm-hmm,
and let the move come to me instead of me kind of, laser focus on the chart and getting anxious, getting impatient, got my finger on the trigger, just ready to hit that button. The way to kind of avoid that is to just disconnect.
mm-hmm,
So that has worked wonders for me in the past, and I kind of went away from it for a little while. So now I said, okay, you know what? Let me give it a try again. Let me, couple they give it an honest try, and it works. It works for me. I kept my little notebook nearby. Anything that came to mind, I wrote it down. I keep a notebook with me anyway when
good.
I travel, and I got notepads all over my office. But it does work. It does work. But to answer your question, I just kind of pulled away and disconnected. Yeah.
So what was the underlying so if we, for example, when the like the tension came up, essentially that urge came up to say I want to enter the trade, if we could put a voice to your brain, right?
Hmm.
Like not your thoughts, but a voice to your brain, what do you think it would be trying to say to you in that moment?
Do you want to win for sure, or do you want to kind of lose? Because if you want to win for sure, you will wait right now. But if you want to kind of lose, you'll enter right now. I'd
Beautiful.
rather win for sure than maybe lose the trade.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would. That's the voice I want to hear.
And what's your
Yeah.
response? Are you looking for certainty, relief, control in that moment?
A bird in the hand is better than two in the bush, right? So
Oh,
I'd
wow.
rather, yeah,
Bars.
I'd rather wait and I wait till my confirmation comes, bird in the hand,
Hmm.
rather than I don't have the confirmation, two in the bush. So that's the best way I could put it. That's the best
That's
way I could put it.
beautiful.
If I wait, I'll win for sure. If I don't wait, I might lose. So I want to win. So I'd rather wait.
So you
So
were finding that pause, that moment to actually bring awareness to it and actually
yes,
rationalize it was supporting you. That's beautiful. That's really
yes, and
beautiful.
just also taking it as a personal challenge. Like, come on, Charlene, you're gonna be doing this for years to come. It won't hurt you to try these few times. Come on, you have it in you. That's what I'm telling myself. Like, come on, this is not your last day trading ever in life.
Yep. Yep.
Plenty more opportunities. So just wait.
I
So,
love that. Sweet.
mhm.
We'll continue to build on that. So now that you have had your most profitable trading week, is there any part of you that is not Nav that's pushing you to do more, but is there any part of you that has an urge to feel that high again, like a repeat in
There
that
is,
performance?
there is.
Hmm.
I want to do it again.
Hmm.
I want to do it again because, first of all, it's not something I was technically aiming for.
Hmm.
I knew I was always capable of it,
Hmm.
but it wasn't something that I was even trying to do. It just happened. So this is me not even trying. Imagine if I do actually try what my potential is now. So I just want to
Oh,
see what sky's the limit. I want to see what that limit is. I want to see like, hey, how much further can I take this? Can I have a 200K week? Cause I've never thought of that. You know, does it have to be in a week? Could be a month. Who knows? I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. I don't want to, put the cart before the horse, if you will.
hmm.
But this happened without me even really trying. This is just me just normally doing my thing, and new levels are being unlocked. So that's how you know you're leveling up silently. Is you're doing things that you weren't normally doing without even trying.
That
So
is
that's
the key right
pretty
there,
cool.
though, because it's like you don't want to do it from a place of resistance. It should feel
Right.
effortless. The energy
Mhm.
should flow because the version of you that is trading this way, you don't feel resistance when you wake up and you trade this way. You feel like it's normal. So
It
that
is.
is the energetic shift. Like you are experiencing it, and it
Hmm.
makes sense that it would just feel so normal and so aligned essentially. But can you
Hmm.
feel the difference between excitement for performance, for bettering your performance, versus the excitement towards needing to be patient essentially,
Um,
the one that hijacks patience?
I would say the patience more because that was like the catalyst to it.
Hmm.
You know. So I mean, can you really do well if you don't have the fundamentals and the foundation to get you to that point?
Hmm.
It doesn't. You can't do it. So definitely, patience is on the forefront, 100%. And now it makes me want to do it even more because I see the results that came from it. So I have the proof is in the pudding. I have the proof right here in front of me. So why would I deviate from that? Makes no sense.
Do you know
So
what's
yeah.
so amazing? Like, I fucking love this because we started, right? Like, maybe it was 10 minutes ago now. And I said, I
Mhm.
want to get you to 100K. And you went, like, you had that, oh, I don't know what. And then your brain reasoned with me. I knew we were going to have this conversation. Your brain reasoned
Yeah.
with me as to why you shouldn't progress and why you should stay stuck. 10 minutes into the conversation, you're remembering who the fuck you are. And you just said 200K week. So,
You're really good. You're really good at this.
hi, I'm Nav.
Yeah. 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 And writing, this is crazy. It's blowing my mind right now. It's blowing my mind right now.
Because
Yeah.
you're capable and it's meant for you, right? So
Yeah.
my job is to pull it out of you, and my job is to almost let you reveal it to yourself. So that's the best realizations because I can say it, and what does your brain do? Defense. No, I can't. Here's why. Because I have to
Mm-hmm.
stay stuck, because I have to stay in what I know. I can't be in a place that is uncertain, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as we've created safety throughout our conversation, your brain has lowered its guard. Your brain has said, oh, this isn't so bad. Actually, yeah, I can do that. I am capable of that. Why can't I do that? Right? Like, there's no reason, the same thing I said to Q, I'm not scaring you, but there is no reason that you can't be in with a $1 million portfolio. No reason for that. Because it's the same process. However, your brain will sabotage you. I'm here to
Mhm.
help you along that. But your brain isn't your biggest fan in the capacity that it wants you to achieve your goals. Your brain wants to keep you stuck. Your brain says, change? Fuck that. No, let's not do that. Let's stay stuck. Until you had that moment that you just had there, which was like you clicked into the excitement, your heart and your brain aligned, and you felt that coherence within yourself that said, I can do this. That's great.
Yeah, pretty incredible.
Beautiful. Fucking love
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely wow. Blows my mind.
Good.
Yeah, pretty
So,
cool.
when you are jumping into these trades early, does any
Hmm.
part of that, we're going to go back to the feeling, the excitement, wanting that same excitement again.
Uh-huh.
But when you think about jumping into that trade early, does any part of you feel like you outsmarted the market by jumping in early, by almost predicting what the market was going to do before it did it?
Mm, no, because I never underestimate the power of the market and how we are pretty much at its beck and call.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of, even as a trader and a good trader, you know your place, know who's the boss, who's the big
Mm-hmm.
boss. No trader is bigger than the market. No trader is smarter than the market. It's just it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can be the most successful trader ever. It doesn't mean you're better or bigger than
Mm-hmm.
the market. So I never lose sight of that. I try to, I know who I am as a trader, but I never let my head get so big that I feel like I've mastered everything and I already know what the market's gonna do or every second it's gonna no. That's if you ever get to that point as a trader, then you've lost your way. You've lost your way. The key is to always be a student, always to stay humble,
Mm-hmm.
and to know that you're never gonna catch the entire piece of the cake. You're just trying to get crumbs. So with me, I'm okay with my crumbs, and I don't need the whole cake for me to be satisfied. So I don't ever think I've outsmarted the market. I always say that as a trader, it's you versus you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not you versus the charts. It's
Yeah.
you versus you because you have to analyze, you have to hit buy or sell, you have to decide whether to hold this trade or to get out of it. Everything is on you, and the market is just doing what it does. You're just reacting to what you're seeing. So the market's going to do what it does anyway. Your reactions, your mindset, your psychology, your discipline, all those things have to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you versus you. So if I outsmarted the market, no, I outsmarted a less experienced version of me, not so much the market, if that makes sense.
100%. So,
Yeah.
do you find like the more confident that you are in your analysis, the earlier you tend to jump in? Or do you find that the more confident you are in the analysis, the more patient you are?
There's a thin line because I'm oftentimes very confident in my analysis. It just depends on what I see.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's hard to answer that. It depends on what I see because if all of my ducks are lining up in a row, then I really don't have any fear of entering because I'm so, confident about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, it's a thin line, but at the end of the day, patience will always pay off. You'll always make more money being patient than you will rushing ever in any environment.
Yep.
So that's pretty much where I'm at with that for the most part.
Okay, so circling back then to now having your biggest week and
Mhm.
feeling The excitement essentially to want to have another week like that, like to experience that high again.
Mhm.
Um, do you feel any pressure to prove that that wasn't luck? Does any part of you internally feel like I need to prove to myself that that wasn't a fluke?
Yes, but it has nothing to do with the actual of my with my actual trading. It's more with just the pair that I'm trading now. It
What pair
just
was
so
it?
happens gold.
Okay.
It just so happens to be on this unprecedented bullish run right
Mm.
now. It's hitting numbers it has never hit ever,
Yeah.
ever. And that's not normal. That's not normal market conditions at all. So it's like, would this have happened if we weren't in these unprecedented times right now? That does kind of weigh on me mentally
Okay.
because in normal conditions, I don't know if I would have. I wouldn't know. I don't know if my week would have turned out the same way if if that pair wasn't on a crazy run like it is right now. I'm actually positive that I don't think so. I don't think so. However, I'm not doubting my skill in trading the pair because even if anybody can make money on gold right now, honestly. You hit buy and you walk away. At some point you're gonna be in profit. Right now. That's how
I
foolish
know,
it is,
right? That
you
dip
know?
buy. I was
Yeah.
like, I explained it to my friend yesterday. I was like showing her the chart, and I was like, "You see, it's one red candle, then green, green, green. One red candle, then green, green, green. One
Green,
red
green,
candle,
green,
then
green, green.
green." Only one
Yes.
time has it had two red candles. I was like, "It's
That's
going
it.
green
Yes.
on Monday."
It doesn't matter where you are in the market. You're gonna be in profit. If you're in buys, you're gonna be in profit. So I kind of had to say to myself, okay, Charlene, was this a fluke or is it just so? I would say a little bit of both, a little bit of both, a little bit of both. But I don't doubt my skills though. You still got to know what you're doing to some degree. So yeah,
Where is your portfolio size currently at?
right now, my account, like what am I trading with? You're saying,
Hmm.
or all my accounts together? Because I have more than one trading account.
What
So
is
all together or just the one?
altogether?
Altogether, it's probably around. I have four trading accounts, maybe 150 altogether.
What
150, right around
what
there,
how
maybe a little more.
much? So what is your lot size per trade?
When I trade gold, I trade at, well, on the future side, I'm trading at between 10 to 15 contracts. On the Forex side, I'm using
Fucking
5
hell.
lots.
On gold
Yeah.
futures? Bloody hell, Charlene. I'm like in the
Yeah.
max three.
What? Oh no. Risk it for the biscuit.
For me,
No,
it's
I'm
like
at.
I trade when I don't get enough time to trade anymore. So for me, it's like I need to get my move when I have a gap and I'm out. So, but
Okay.
yeah, like it's not for me, it's not an ability issue or a fear issue. It's more like in and out, in and out. Let's go.
Okay.
I don't have the time to monitor it or anything, but
Mhm.
that's great. Okay, 10 to 15 contract sizes on futures.
Yeah.
Um,
And 5 on Forex.
Perfect. So
Hmm.
it's not so much about the ticker, like the market's going to do what the market does, right? But what
Hmm.
will change in order for us to get these numbers, what will change is, do you have a baseline portfolio? Like, do you grow the account and then withdraw it to a certain amount and then start again? What's that
Yes.
number?
30,000.
Okay. So
Hmm.
what we'll be able to do is you won't withdraw to 30,000. Instead, we can withdraw it to, let's say, 60. But
Okay.
we can trade with a higher lot size, right? We can increase your lot size, or we can keep it at 100. These are your options. We can keep it at 150 and then we can increase the lot size, right? The 150 might feel unsafe to your nervous system off the bat. So I say we can double that. Like, you know how to trade with 60 grand because you know how to trade with 150. All we're
Yeah.
doing is shifting the baseline, and we maybe add one contract. I'm not saying that we add like five contracts to this. We just add one
Okay.
contract. Let your
Okay.
brain understand like something is changing. Something different is happening. Let your brain experience the feelings of uncertainty without it having to be a massive amount of uncertainty. Like, we don't have to
Oh,
chuck 10 contracts in and like trade with a portfolio size you're not used to trade. We don't have to go that deep. It's just these
mhm,
micro shifts that we're gonna start making
mhm.
that are gonna help you to become more regulated so that we can increase just your baseline portfolio as well.
Okay.
Then your lot sizes will increase, your contract sizes will increase, and that will give you the ability, no matter if gold is on a bull run or whatever the market might be doing, it means that you don't actually need to catch a huge part of the move anyway in order to make that amount, but you're still following
Right.
process, you're still keeping your risk and reward the same percentage wise.
Hmm.
So, what number do you feel like you would be comfortable with if we were increasing it?
As a target, like
Hmm.
a goal or a starting number.
For a new baseline.
Oh man. Uh,
You were the big question.
yeah, I haven't thought about it. Um, like to hit as a goal.
No, so to have a new baseline, so you're withdrawing to 30,000, you're building it up. And then
Oh, okay. So we said 60, right?
I say
Starting at 60.
60, yeah.
Yeah,
But what do
I
you
mean,
feel good with?
I'm fine with 60. I'm good with 60. I mean, I've done it before. I've traded. I mean, that's typically where I keep my account anyway. It's not very often I have my account sitting at six figures. I
Hmm.
just don't feel comfortable leaving that much money in my trading accounts.
Okay.
But yeah, 60 is reasonable. The only thing for me is what number would I need to get it to before I withdraw?
Where are you
Because
currently getting it to before you withdraw?
so what I'll do is I'll start it with either 15 or 30, and I'll once I hit 15K in profit, I pull out the 15K, and then I do it all over again. Then I do it all over again. So if it's at 30, once it gets to 45, I'll pull out the 15 and start again at 30. So if we're doing 60, do I pull out at 75, or can I push it to 100? Maybe push it to 100 and then pull out the profit. I could do that. I'm comfortable doing that.
I
Yeah.
would then say, so I didn't realize you've said this, but it didn't occur to me. I saw it as one portfolio. You're trading across four portfolios. So then I would say, let's make
Mhm.
it 50K to
Okay.
75, withdraw,
Okay.
but increasing your contract size by one across all of them. So not a massive jump, just a little jump, because what will happen is your brain is going to be like, "What the fuck? Like this is different. I've been at this number before, and these aren't the figures that I'm used to seeing. What's going
Mm-hmm.
on here?" It's almost like where you know when someone gets a vaccine and you're injecting yourself with the virus and you make yourself sick so you can overcome it. It's slightly
Mm-hmm.
like we're doing that with your brain, but we're doing it on a very micro way. Like you're not going to blow the account. Like nothing bad is going to come from it because you're still going to make sure that you're keeping your risk tight. But we want to start injecting your brain with almost that uncertainty so we can build off of it and we can train your brain to manage it because that's how we're going to stack your account up. And then we
Okay.
can get you to that baseline across all four accounts as well, where it can be 100K as your minimum. We can get you to a point where six figures feels normal. We can get
Mm-hmm.
you to a place where seven figures feels normal. There's no reason you can't be. It's all the same mechanism. It's just that your brain is now safe in this bracket. And anything outside of that feels scary. So we just make sure that we're building this wiring up sustainably, carefully, slowly. Where we
Okay.
can accelerate, we accelerate. Where we need to slow down, we slow down. And that's okay. It's the process, right? Because
Yeah.
life experiences can dictate parts where you may overcome something really quickly because your brain already has that mechanism into it. It's already resilient in that capacity. But then something else could come up as a trigger that has nothing to do with trading, but because something has happened in like your personal life or maybe even like a relationship with someone or something that is making you go, I can't be wrong here. What the fuck? Like, that's not correct, right? And it's
Yeah.
not to say that you're doing something wrong, but it's to say like that wiring might fire up and you're like, where did that come from? That has nothing to do with anything, right? So
Right. Mm-hmm.
we want to find like they're not loose connections because they are patterns that are already wired in, but we want to find the weak links, essentially, the things that are no longer valuable for this new identity, right? Because you said something as well, which was like six figures is scary. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just wiring. That's not a fact. That's a belief. That's a truth that's just a thought that you've told yourself is true. That doesn't make
Mm-hmm.
it true because there's another trader that's trading six figures and feels nothing. So
It
we
feels
have
nothing.
exactly. So it's not a fact. So now that we know that it's not a fact and it's just a thought that you've told yourself is true, and therefore your subconscious brain, the 95%, has continued to look for evidence throughout your trading day that that is true. Six figures is scary. Let me keep showing you the information and the evidence that six figures is scary. So we need to
Mm-hmm.
now change that belief system. We make six figures normal, right? It's a
Yeah.
process though.
Mm-hmm.
And we obviously do that through repetition and like I said through finding these weak links. So
Mm-hmm.
we can use a framework for this now to move it forward, which is to recognize, regulate, and to reassign. So because we can change this. So already you've brought awareness to the table, right? You've already started looking for it. But I don't know if you found the thought yet. That's the thing. Like when I've been asking you what the thought is, I feel like there's still something there. So I want you to still catch the moment that your body's lighting up, like with that anticipatory energy. And
Okay.
then I want you to bring the awareness again because that awareness is the interruption. And I
Okay.
just want you to think about like what is the earliest thought that you get? It's going to be hard to catch the earliest because the earliest is going to be the subconscious one. But if I say earliest, then whichever one comes up as your baseline, you can go back. So ask yourself five whys from that point. Why? Why are you having that thought? Have the next thought. Okay, why? Have the next thought. Okay, why? 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 Keep going backwards, right?
Okay.
And then we want to regulate, which is to not fight the urge and just to essentially breathe through it. Because now you're teaching your nervous system that waiting is safe, being patient is safe, especially
Mm-hmm.
as we up the contracts. You have to get that precision entry, right? Because
Oh
we
yeah.
want to make sure we're getting your risk even tighter. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not suppression, it's emotional strength, and we want to teach your brain that. So
Mm-hmm.
in order to calm your physiology, essentially before you're actually clicking, when you get that thought, five whys, and I also want you to take five breaths, five deep breaths. These could
Okay.
be box breathing. I think box breath for this would be perfect, in fact. So it's 4 seconds in, hold for 4 seconds, release for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds. But when you come in, don't do it passively. Like, don't just breathe in, like, really fill your lungs. And when you
Mm-hmm.
breathe out, really empty your lungs. So really make that active effort and then hold it. It might feel a bit uncomfortable like as you begin, but as you continue, it'll get way easier. And then the next thing we want to do is reassign. So that's going to be to shift your brain's reward association. So it's essentially we want you to feel the dopamine from the restraint. So we want you to reward yourself mentally for holding back, and that's going to rewire this prediction error system over time. So that is the same as essentially they are basically the same thing. It's the anticipatory reward system and the error prediction system, which says I like the feeling of the win before I've got the win. So it's predicting that feeling, which is making you act. So
Mm-hmm.
how could you make patience feel satisfying instead of restrictive? Do you have any thoughts on what you could do?
Besides the disconnection, I mean, that's the only thing I know that works for me. I haven't really tried too many other things that I know work as good as that. So that's kind of the only thing I have in terms of that. Unless, I mean, if you can suggest anything else, but that's what's worked for me.
So
So,
when you have a big win or something happens in your life that you're celebrating,
hmm.
what do you do to celebrate?
Play with my god kids. I don't really, I'm so past those days. Like, I just, and I hate to say it this way, but it's kind of like it's just another day. It's just another,
But
okay,
what
I
if
work
it's
great.
not trading? What if it's just a life win? Like, how are you celebrating that?
Oh,
Even
wow.
a birthday.
I mean, I go out, I go try to spend time with my family and friends. take a trip. I go on vacations a lot. Depends on the mood that I'm in and what I'm celebrating. But for the most part, it's always some type of experience. Not so much too many material things anymore.
Hmm.
It's more experience based celebrations than anything. So yeah, yeah.
Okay. So then what we're going to do then, we're going to have a pot, right? We're going to have a money pot, which is going to be your travel pot. Now, this is the thing, right? You can book a holiday at any time, right? You
Mm-hmm.
can take it out of your bank account, your savings, or even just like your portfolio and say, I want to go on a trip, so I'm going to go on a trip. Instead of
Mm-hmm.
that, we're going to use the trip as your reward. So every time you're patient, you can mentally take some money, even if you have the ability to on your bank account to make a separate like a savings pot. Every
Mm-hmm.
time you can reward yourself and you can take either 100 or 1,000 out of that bank account as a reward to yourself to say, this is my trip fund. Until you get to a certain amount in that, then you can't go on your trip. So now we're rewarding you, right? It doesn't
Okay.
mean that like say you want to go on a trip and you're like it's 20K and I've only got made it to 10K because maybe a setup hasn't presented itself. You haven't had to be patient for something. It doesn't mean you
Mm-hmm.
can't go on the trip. It's just that we're rewiring your brain to say, hey, this is a reward. This is a reward system. Look at that. I did this. Look at me doing this thing,
Okay.
right? So
Okay.
it's not so like you can't actually go on there unless you're coming to London, in which case come on down.
On that.
Come on down. Christmas is
Yes.
great
Yes.
here.
Nice.
But yeah,
Okay,
so
I can do that.
yeah, so that's the framework I want you to use for the next week. Um, this is what the universe does. Okay, so this isn't to scare you, this is to prepare you, right? When you say you want change, you step into a new energy. The universe recognizes that. You do a session, right? You had the session, the energy was elevated within your frequency. You did that. You elevated your energy. You felt more confident, whether you consciously recognized it or not. There was something in you that changed. There was a state shift, and you felt like, I can do this, right? And then you did it. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the universe is an expert at this. It will give you a window into your future reality before pouring everything in front of you. So
Mm-hmm.
you've had a window. Now, what could happen? I'm not saying it's guaranteed that it will happen this way because I'm not a psychic as much as I like to believe I am. But what will happen is you will be shown a window of what your future could look like. Then it will take it away because it will say, here it is. You step in this, I will give you all of this. This is all that's available to you. This is amazing. So you have that experience. And then it goes, okay, now prove it. Prove that you're
Wow.
that person. I'm going to take it from you, prove it. And so now this is where the challenge begins because now it like certain things that would trip you up or could make
Mm-hmm.
you feel that urge to be impatient, like the most perfect A plus setup in the world could show up for you. It's a test. Are you going to show up as that version of you that was experiencing your biggest trading week? Right? The more you can sustain that, the more you can do that, the quicker the continued results can manifest for you. It's just that's just for me to give to you to prepare you to say that if things do start going south, that's not because it's not working. That's exactly because it's working. Because it's saying, okay, now I need you to show up continuously and show me that in every single way and capacity you feel confident in your ability that you can do this. So there won't be that that self-doubt. There won't be that
Yeah.
because the version of you that has it, well, how do they have self-doubt? Because we've already got it. How you can't have self-doubt. It's the same way you're feeling right now. Like if I said to you, can you make 10 grand on a trade? There's no self-doubt there. You're like, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's going to get to that point where it's like, can you make 100 grand on a trade? And you'll be like, yeah, obviously. Like that will just be the baseline. It won't feel exciting. It will just be the baseline. The excitement is this process. This is the fun. Like, oh, let's
This is it
push
right here.
limits.
Yeah.
Like you're in a comfortable position. Nothing can go wrong. Like it's not that you're a trader that is just starting out and is relying on trading as income, although I say no one should ever be relying on trading as an income. You should never be
No,
trading from that
definitely
place.
not.
But you're not in that position, which means we have the opportunity here to see your full potential. Because if you are who I think you are, in 40 years' time, if you're still making these trades, part of you will look back and say, what if I just pushed it a little bit? What if I just pushed it? And I don't
Yeah.
want that for you. I don't want you to live with regrets. I want you to just experience, like, let's push it. Let's see. And if it turns out, like, pivoting is always available to everyone. If it turns out that we are doing this and you're like, do you know what? I actually really loved how I was trading before. I don't even like, yeah, I can hit these 100K trades, but I don't even like it. Like, I don't actually like this as much as I like that. Then let's go back to that. But at least we know you're
Yeah.
capable of that, right? And I think
Yeah.
that's like the most fun thing for me and the most important thing is like let's get you to that full potential.
Let's do it. I'm here
Amazing.
for it. I've been taking notes while you were talking, so
Good,
that's why I'm
good.
looking down. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for sure.
Beautiful. So I'm gonna end the session there.
All right.
And yeah, so no one's gonna be able to see your progress after this until we do a bonus check-in. You'll be like,
Yeah, for sure.
but I'm super
I got work to
excited.
do.
It'll be
Yes.
easier than you think. Like,
Okay.
it will be easier than you think. Your brain will try to scare you because it's unknown. This is what it does. It's its job. It's its job. Your brain does not care for things that are uncertain. So it's
Mhm.
going to immediately hit you with no, are you sure? That's what's going to come up. Do I really want this? When you allowed yourself to be safe and your heart to actually do the talking, yeah, you want
Mhm.
this. So let's do
Okay. Yeah, I'll get out of my own way.
it. You're not in your own way. You're not in your own way. You're doing fantastic.
Okay. All right, sounds good. I'm excited.
Amazing.
New levels about to be unlocked.